To make a pinch mug, take a hunk of clay and tap it against your hands, roll it in your hands to form an egg shape. And then take your thumb and poke it in the bottom of the egg and press all the way through until your thumb is about a pinky's width from the top of the egg. And then spin and pinch, and pinch the bottom of the mug down until the walls are as thick as your pinky or as thick as a pencil. Once the base of your mug is thin, then you can start pinching the bottom of the walls and working your way up to the middle of the walls and towards the top of the mug, but you never actually need to pinch the very top. To smooth out the top of your mug, you can rub some water on it, smooth with your fingers. You can also wrap your hands around it and tamp it against the table to compress the clay. Smooth out and perfect the entire mug shape until you're very proud of your work. Once you have a nice mug, you're ready to make the rim for your mug. A rim is a coil that sits on top of your mug, and that's the part that you'll actually drink out of. Begin by taking a hunk of clay and trying to roll out a perfectly round coil. As you can see, my first try on the coil is not going that great. It's kind of turning it into a plank shape. And that's because I'm pressing too hard and rolling too short across my board as I try to create the round coil. You also don't want to create a real weak spot in your coil and have fat spots so that you have a sloppy, uneven looking coil like that. Let's try again. Take a hunk of clay, start it in your hands with light, quick rolls, and then move it down to your board. Continue making light, quick, long rolls, putting even pressure on the clay as you roll it across the board. This should create a perfectly even and round coil. You also want to work your hands side to side so that the entire coil gets thinned out. Keep working it until you have a perfectly even coil that is pinky thick. Perfect. Now take your coil and wrap it around the top of your mug and let it hang off the sides just ever so slightly. Measure the amount that you'll need and pinch off any extra, leaving just a little bit of overlap where the ends of the coils meet. You can take that back off, and you're going to need to scratch your clay with this little miniature saw. This is called a scoring disc. And you take this back and forth across the top of your mug and really scratch up the surface. Don't be shy with this. You're basically creating clay Velcro that's going to help that coil stick to your piece. Create those scratches on your coil as well. Once you've scratched up your mug and your coil, dab them both with a bit of water. Don't rub the water on. Just dip your fingers into the water and then touch the top of your mug and your coil, and the water will naturally run into the cracks. Place the scored side down on top of your mug and wrap it around. And you may need to pinch off a little bit more clay to make sure that the ends are meeting perfectly with a little bit of overlap. Now, to really get these two to bond together, you're going to need to press them firmly, yet neatly and gently, so that the rim attaches to your cup. Now that the rim is attached, we've got to make it look good. We've got to smooth it out. So take a wood tool and make marks. These are called stitches across the line where your coil meets your mug. Completely erase that line by making little stitch lines across it. Go all the way around and be gentle as you do this and support your mug with the other hand so that you don't accidentally poke a hole in it. Once you've stitched all the way around, you can smooth out your stitches by taking a brush and a little bit of water. Don't overdo it with the water, and your fingers to make the inside of your mug completely smooth and neat. The inside of your mug should look like a nice smooth surface that after it dries, you would want to drink out of. Once you've finished your rim, you're ready to create what is basically another rim on the bottom of your cup, but this is called a foot. This will help balance your cup and lift it up off the table. You're going to make another coil that should be nice and even and pinky thick. Remember that long, light rolls are the key to getting a good coil. Flip your cup over and wrap the coil around and position it so that it's not directly on the bottom but not on the sides either, so that the actual bottom of your mug isn't touching and the weight of your cup would be resting on the coil. Scratch the bottom of your cup, scratch the bottom of your coil, dab with water, press it on, making sure you have that little bit of overlap at the ends of your coils. Make sure you go around and tap and press it on firmly but gently. And you can see how we're getting a nice look now. The foot and rim will really add to the look of your cup. Then go around and stitch it in the inside. Smooth it with a brush and your fingers. And there you have it, a very nice looking cup with a rim and a foot. Go around and perfect any little cracks or any little imperfections. Make everything nice and neat. Use your fingers, use your brush, and you will have a very nice looking cup.